Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how you can use Kucoin. So it's super easy. You're just going to go to kucoin.com, and then once you get there, you're going to click on sign up. You can do the same thing on mobile. You're just going to type in your phone number, get a verification code, set a password, and sign up. And so once you do that, you're going to be redirected to So once you do that, you're going to be redirected to your home page here. And so once you get here, there's lots of stuff you can do. But the first thing you need to do is get some money in your account. So there's multiple ways to do this. You can go through all of KuCoin's very annoying signing up and sending your ID and trying to buy stuff on their platform. Or if you already own Bitcoin, then you are ready to go. So if you don't own Bitcoin, what you want to do is you want to go buy some Bitcoin. That means go to Coinbase or go to wherever you do to buy your Bitcoin and buy it. And then after you buy it, what you want to do is you want to send it to yourself. So what you can do is you can go to assets, and once you get there, all you have to do is look at your accounts, right? So these are your accounts, and you're going to go to main account. You're going to type in this little search box, Bitcoin, and then here you're going to click on deposit. So once you get here, you're going to get your little wallet address, and you can click on this little button to get your little QR code. So you can go to your Coinbase or wherever you buy your Bitcoin, and you can type in this address or scan this barcode to send yourself some Bitcoin. And then you're going to wait like a whole bunch of days, like a whole long time. Oh, also, you probably, if you want to trade, you probably just want to send it right to your trading account. Your main account doesn't really do anything unless you want to lend your Bitcoin out. We can talk about that later. But if you're looking to buy other coins on KuCoin, just go ahead and send your Bitcoin to your trading account, right? Either way, you probably want to, what we're going to do is we're going to transfer our Bitcoin into USDT by selling our Bitcoin. And in order to do that, we need to be on a trading account. All right, so then we're going to go to our trading account profile, and we're going to continue to refresh this button for several hours like some sort of little gremlin waiting for a snack until our Bitcoin finally arrives. It may take hours, it may take days, but once it gets there, then we can do something useful. And if you didn't want to be a gremlin, then you could have just waited and checked your email to see when you receive the coin, because they will send you an email. So now we see that we have some Bitcoin in our account. So there's tons of stuff you can do once you have Bitcoin in your account. The first thing you can do, or one of the things you can do, is you can just go buy regular coins, right? Just go away. So here's what we do. So we go to, did you see what just happened, right? I just want to make sure you guys see. Uh-huh. My internet's very slow. I'm sorry. Okay, so we went up to trade and we went to spot trading, which means we just want to buy stuff like regular people. We just want to buy stuff. So here's the Bitcoin chart, and we have Bitcoin. And so it says Bitcoin USDT. That means we can buy Bitcoin with USDT. But we have Bitcoin. So instead of selling into USDT and then buying more Bitcoin or whatever you want to buy, you can also just buy with Bitcoin. So let's look at these things. Let's say you want to buy some delicious Algorand with Bitcoin. So you type in algo into the search box or whatever coin you want to buy, and then you can go to the Bitcoin address. So let's just make a note here. You can also have just bought with Ethereum, right? But you can't send Ethereum to yourself in KuCoin to fund your account. So no matter what you do, you have to fund with Bitcoin or USDT if you want to go through all their security stuff. And then from there, you're free to do whatever. So if we have Bitcoin, let's say we want to buy Algorand or whatever other popular coin. So here's the current chart. What we can do is we can click on that chart, and then we can go over and we're going to type in our trading password that they'll have you set up. And you will click on the price of Bitcoin. Let's just say we want to do market price. We'll get the best price for the current market. And so you have different options here. You can have 25% of your Bitcoin. So this is how much Bitcoins I have in the account, right? So I can take 25% of that, 50% of that, 75%, or 100% of that. And I can, if I choose 100%, I can transfer all my Bitcoin to buy Algorand or whatever coin you're trying to buy right now. If I hit buy, it'll go ahead and do that. But let's say that for whatever reason, the coin we want to buy does not support Bitcoin buying. So let's say we want to buy some AGIX for no apparent reason. That's not mentioned here. And oh, we can buy with Bitcoin, but let's say we want to buy with USDT for whatever reason. So the first thing that we could do is that we could transfer our Bitcoin into USDT. So how do we go about doing that? So we would go to Bitcoin, and instead of placing a buy order, we would just sell at best market price or whatever limit price you want to set all of your Bitcoin or some amount of your Bitcoin, and then you'd sell that and it would go through. But just for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and show you how you might actually go through with buying something. And let's just buy it with Bitcoin since I already have Bitcoin. I don't really feel like transferring it into USDT and paying fees. I think it's like, probably 10 cents a fee. But anyways, let's try to save money because we probably paid a ton of fees in sending the Bitcoin to our address in the first place. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to say we're just going to take the market price. We're going to buy 100% of our Bitcoins, right? And we're just going to go ahead and buy it. So let's say I just want to do 50%, and I can go ahead and buy that coin. And when that happens, it's going to say place. That was so loud. It made a very loud sound. I don't know if you can hear it. But that means we've placed the order successfully. So if you go over here to order history, it'll tell you your orders. And if we refresh our page or your app, wherever you're working, you can see. Okay, so you can see that our orders have gone through, right? So this is our timestamp. We bought some AGIX. Yay! Very good. Okay, so let's say you want to play a little bit more of a game, right? So what you can do, instead of just buying stuff on KuCoin, you can go back to the KuCoin page, and there's other ways to get here. Oh my gosh. And then you can go to trade, and let's say you want to do margin trading, right? So you're going to get some sort of leverage, 10x leverage on any of your adventures. So let's say we want to go back to buying AGIX with Bitcoin for whatever reason that's non-disclosed here, and then we will click on some market price and set the amount for 50% of our Bitcoins, right? And we can do that. And you can go ahead and place this, and to be honest, margin trading is a little confusing to me. But let's say you want to play a little bit more of a risky game, right? You really believe in whatever you're buying in. You know what the chart is doing. You know the fundamentals, and you have a pretty sure bet of what's going to happen. So you're willing to take a little bit more of a risk to engage in your future returns, right? So what you can do is you can go ahead and click on this Futures 100x button, and it'll take you to a different site called futures.kucoin.com. And the first thing you're going to notice if you're on the desktop and you're not on mobile is that it's in light theme, and we hate light theme. So this is the best tip. Probably the whole point of watching this video is that if you go over here to this little button. Did you see that? This little hexagon, it's very obscure. You'd probably never, it took me so long to figure this out. You click on this button, and then you can click on the night theme. Oh my God, that's so much better. I know, right? So much better. So I have some open orders down here just playing around with. But now we're in futures trading, right? So we're no longer in the regular KuCoin. We are in futures KuCoin. So you got to be careful here because this can be a bit dangerous. But let's say we want to go ahead and with our Bitcoin, we want to go ahead and buy any one of these favored coins here. Let's say we want to go back to our little honey AGIX. And we find out that we can't do futures. You can only do future contracts on certain coins. So let's go ahead and take a look at what KSM is doing, right? So this is another favorite coin of ours, and it looks like it's in some pattern. And we say, hey, you know what? I think this guy right here, you have to make your own decisions. I'm not giving any sort of advice here besides just use KuCoin and maybe some other things. But you got to say, okay, what do I think this is going to do? Is it going to go up or is it going to go down, right? And so then you can make a bet based on what you think is going to happen with up to 20% leverage, and you can choose a different leverage amount. So what that means is, and you can look at different, so this is a 5-year chart, right? We can look at a 3-month chart. We can look at a 1-day chart. And we can start to nail down what we think might happen. So if we think that, say this coin, KSM, or whatever coin you're interested in, if we're pretty sure with reasonable probability that it's going to go up, what we can go ahead and do is say, okay, at the last price that this coin was sold at, I want to take 50% of my USDT that is available, or 100%, or whatever percent of the money that you have in your trading account. And I want to buy that with a certain amount of leverage. And so what leverage will do, it will pretend that you're buying on a much higher scale than you are. So we have a very small amount of money in here, only $4. And we're going to say, okay, with 20x, I'm going to leverage that, and I think the price is going to go up. So I'm going to buy long. If I think the price is going to go down, I'm going to sell a short. Right, okay, so we can just go ahead and say buy long. And when it does that, this super nifty window pops up. And the fantastic thing about this window is not the cost, which will be 22 cents to execute this trade, but the liquidation price. So that means that if this coin gets to this price, my position will be forfeited and I will give up all the money that I've spent in this trade. So if we say the price at 437, we can exit out of here and then go see, okay, what's going on at 437, right? Well, that's down here, and today we've definitely hit that mark, so that's definitely ascertainable. So if I'm not willing to take this risk, which might be pretty risky considering the current day's trend, I can lessen my leverage and I can try again. I say, okay, so what's, don't yell at me. Okay, so I can say I'm going to buy long, and now the price for liquidation is 415. So I can go back here and I can say, okay, I may have to switch to a different, oh gosh. I may have to switch to a different chart here and say, okay, at 415, what's going on? That's about right here. Right, so we seem to have broken out of that pattern, but in the last couple of days it was certainly possible. So depending on your analysis of what's going on, you're going to want to place your bets carefully because you will get liquidated and you will give up all your money if you're not careful. So let's go ahead and say that we're going to do this, right? So we're going to just go ahead and do it. Bam. And it's going to ask you to send in your trading password. You're going to type that in. Never going to save anything. And it's going to get mad because I don't actually have money. But if you have money, it'll be in there. So what happens is it's going to populate after you refresh the page on your app or on your desktop. It's going to refresh this little bar down here, which talks about your positions. So right now I have a current position open for Bitcoin perpetual, which is how you trade futures on Bitcoin, for some amount, which has some value, which is way more than the money I put in. So my entry price was this amount. The market price is the current price. The market price is what Bitcoin is going for right now. And if Bitcoin reaches this price, I will forfeit all of the money that I put into this, right? So my margin leverage is telling me how much I've spent and how much I'm Xing my money. So right now I'm almost about 20% because I think Bitcoin's going to go up, right? So this is the best part. My unrealized P&L, ROE, return of investment, I'm not sure, equity or whatever, I don't know. But this amount is if I sold at this current moment, given this market price, how much money I would seek to make from this trade. My realized P&L is the loss or the profit that I've taken over the course of this transaction's history. So it's very high right now because I had to double down. It's irrelevant. But anyways, normally this is very small. It's just very high right now because this trade has been very long standing for me. So you can track the lifetime of your position using this information. You can also set up a take profit and take loss. So if I want to say, okay, if Bitcoin reaches this certain amount, which I can type in here, let's say it reaches 70K, then I'm going to sell all of my Bitcoin. I can sell more than I have at the market price or the last price or the index price. And if I want to take losses, and say, okay, if Bitcoin, I don't want to get liquidated, so I want to be a little bit above my 59,000 for liquidation. So if I say if Bitcoin gets to this price, I'm going to go ahead and sell most of my position so I can go ahead and back out and not lose everything. So once you set that up, it'll take that into account and automatically trigger when the price gets to that range. So if you hit auto deposit margin, what's going to happen is this realized P&L is going to get deposited into your account to prevent you from being liquidated. So basically, what's going to happen is that as the price starts to reach your stop loss, what'll happen is it'll lower your position or raise your position depending on if you're long or short, so you don't have to liquidate, and this price will change. And so when you're ready, let's say the market's super erratic, right? Let's say we're trading Bitcoin and all of a sudden we just dropped $500 and I'm concerned about hitting my liquidation price. And so I just want to go ahead and close this position. I can just hit market. And when I do that, what'll happen is it'll say, okay, how much do you want to close this position for? And I can give some percentage of my position. Say I just want to close the whole thing. I'm done with this. I've made bad decisions, right? Or I've made great decisions. I'm ready to leave. I want to take my profits and get out of here. You can just click on these buttons and hit confirm. I'm not going to do that right now. Anyways, so another nifty thing that I like to do, last thing here, in terms of when you're going about your day-to-day trading, is whenever I make positions, and you can do this on the regular charts, on the futures charts, whatever chart, doesn't matter, is you can set up all of these different trading tools. And I'm fairly new at this stuff, so I don't use a bunch of this stuff. If I want to know the chart analysis, I just look up someone way more experienced. But for my own sanity, I think it's very useful to look at this stuff visually. So I figure out whatever my liquidation price is, and then I click on this little line button, and then I go ahead and you can hold shift on your keyboard to make a straight line, and I go ahead and make a line to show myself where that liquidation price is, right? And it tells you right here the price you're at in the chart. So I can see visually what's going on with the current coin I'm looking at and whether or not it's approaching my liquidation price or whatever I'm looking at, right? So we can see that there's some resistance here, so I can set a resistance line here. I can change the color, to make it more easy for me to pick up. I can change the color to something brighter in case you're colorblind and you have no idea what I'm talking about, right? So these are very useful things. You can copy and paste, Control C, Control V, and I can start to set resistance points and start to watch what's going on here to help myself. And when I'm done with them, I can just hit delete. So these are the basics, guys. These are the super basics. I hope this was super easy. Um, there's tons of coins on KuCoins. There's tons of options. You can do futures trading, you can do margin trading, you can do spot trading. But the most important thing is that you make your account and then you go ahead and you fund your account with some Bitcoin that you bought elsewhere or on KuCoin if you want to be that invested in KuCoin. And it's also important to remember, guys, that KuCoin may not be the most secure. And so what that means is that if you're holding a very large amount of coin and you intend on holding it for a long time, and we're not talking about futures, we're talking about actually holding it, you want to transfer this your stuff into an actual wallet, right? Like either a hardware wallet like Ledger or some secure wallet. It's not just sitting where it's not just sitting in KuCoin, right? Because they've been known to have some issues. So what you could do is you could say, okay, I'm going to go to my trading account. I have some Bitcoin in there, and I want to go ahead and I want to get that out of there. So I'm going to transfer that. I'm going to transfer it into my main account. And once it's in my main account, I'm not going to do that because I'm not trying to get it out of there right now. I don't have that much going on in there. But once I get that in there, I can go ahead and type in whatever coin, Bitcoin, whatever, Algorand, AGIX, whatever coin you're talking about, and I can go ahead and say withdraw. And then you have to do this stuff to set up, and then you can withdraw your coin and you'll be safe. But if you're doing futures, you can't do that, right? Because if you're doing futures, you're just trading on a bet. You're betting. This is the race horses, right? You're at the racetrack right now betting. So just be careful, guys, and good luck. I hope it works out for you, and I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching.